I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap
First
my
of all,
hands, turn
if
around
this was
now
Cape
and
Town, they
dance,
would have
dance,
been
dance.
screaming,
I just wanna
the
have
doors open! Much better. Good afternoon, Johannesburg. Welcome to the On Jackie's Masterclass. Today we're going to be talking everything hair. We're going to be talking protective styling, we're going to be talking product choices, we're going to be talking product ingredients and things to look out for. So please, this is an interactive masterclass. We'll be taking questions later during the duration of the class. But for now, just sit, relax, and enjoy the education side of it. Right? Are you with me? Yeah! Okay. Let me first introduce. I think he doesn't need any introduction. You know who I am. But let's give please a warm welcome to my co-stylist and the celebrity stylist of our very famous Tyler, Kelvin. No. I'm going to have to stop you there. Can you put your hands together for our celebrity stylist, to Tyler, Kelvin? Thank you. Okay, as I said, this is a very interactive class. I don't believe in being boring, right? So whatever questions, Wena, you can ask later on in the class, right? So who understands texture? By the show of hands. There's some liars in the class here because some of them have been to previous classes, but okay, we're going to forgive them for now. So those that, if it's the first time attending a class where I am doing education, I'm going to break it down. Who understands the numbering system when it comes to texture? Okay, there's a few hands. For the ladies that don't know and the gentlemen that don't know, hair is divided into categories, right? As you know, it's divided into coarse, medium, and then fine. Who of you feel that you saw everyone, if you got 4C hair, it's coarse? Who feels that they got coarse hair because it's 4C? Put up by the show of your hands. What if I told you that is not true? It's not true. Let me explain to you. Remember, as I said, hair is divided into 4 categories, right? It goes 1, which is straight, right? 2, which is, of course, wavy. 3, which, of course, is curly. And then 4, which, of course, is coily. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it with the most amount of respect. There is some hair types that are beyond 4. We all know that story. It's beyond 4. Like literally, you can't even categorize it because it's beyond. It is so dehydrated, it is so thick, and it's so coarse. Right? Are you with me? Who believes that they have a combination of different hair textures in their head? Okay. Do you know what that is called? It's called aggressive texture. So meaning that you have more than one texture of hair on your head. Remember, South Africa is very diverse. We are a mixture of everything, right? So that makes us what? Unique, right? The one thing that I want you to take away from this class today is about loving yourself and loving your hair the way it is. Are you with me? Yes. Right. Then, of course, we're going, I'm going to get into the products, but not yet. Then, of course, we go into product choices. Who have used On Jackie's before, have not used On Jackie's before? Some say it didn't work for me, and some say it worked for me. By the show of hands, who said it didn't work for me? Okay, at first, she's being honest. Then who of you used it and loved it immediately? Sure, okay. We've got some massive girlfriends in the house here. Okay, give them a clap because they actually... Okay. So what if I told you that you need to understand, first of all, your texture and your type, right? Because that plays a massive part when it comes to product choices. Because you can go into clicks and you've become so overwhelmed with everything and you don't know where to start. Am I correct? Yes. Right? Because there is so much. So I'm going to break it down. When your hair is on the coarser side first, you're not going to use a normal rinse-out conditioner. You're going to opt for a mask. If your hair is on the finer side, you're going to opt for a rinse-out conditioner, right? Right. How long do you think you should be keeping a conditioner on? Who leaves their conditioner on for a whole day till the next day? There's no judgment. There is people that does that. You understand? Which is fine. But I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you the reasons why you should be following manufacturer's instructions and not leaving your conditioner on till the next day or 4 days or 5 days, because it happens, right? It happens, right? So the thing is, with conditioner, it should be rinsed out. Any type of mask or anything that is conditioning meant to soften hair needs to be rinsed out. Because what it creates dandruff, it creates buildup, and then you say, but why is my hair so dry? Right? That's a common thing. Why is my hair so dry? Because of the buildup. Because you're leaving on your conditioner for far too long. Right? Then, of course, you've got dandruff or dry scalp, and you say, but why is my scalp so dry? It's because there's many different contributions to dry scalp, but one of the things is also overload of product, and that is where conditioner comes into play or mask comes into play, right? So, when looking, remember, I'm going to say it out loud again, mask, coarser hair. Finer hair needs a rinse-out conditioner because it's going to be lighter, right? With 4C hair can also be fine, right? Because it's automatically, but it also can be a bit drier, so you're going to use a mask instead of a rinse-out. Are you with me? Right? Then, of course, you go into shampoos, because I think there's a lot of people that are very confused when it comes to shampoos. What shampoo should I use? First of all, who uses a clarifying shampoo? Only one hand, 2, 3. Okay. For those that don't know what a clarifying shampoo is, it is meant to strip out any type of product, any debris or anything that is accumulated over time onto the hair. And that is why you use it. You don't use it just because of the sake of using it. There's a purpose for it. And I think that when people understand what the purpose is, they will automatically understand what to use. A moisturizing shampoo is meant to what? Soften. And there's a number of moisturizers. I think there's 2 in the Aunt Jackie's range, which is our aloe and mint, as well as the yellow one that is in our classic collection. So there is kind of 2 that you can play around with when it comes to moisture. Then, of course, we're going to styling, because this is also where everyone gets a bit confused. Styling depends totally what is the end result and the desired look that you want to achieve. When you're looking at styling, you need to look at what do you want to achieve. Is it definition? Do you want your curls to be popping? Must your coils be popping? What is the end result? As you know, we just launched recently, that is in South Africa, one of my favorites, which is underneath our Protective Style collection, is our mousse. And the nice thing, though, I see a lot of 4B, 4C queens in the house here. Give yourself a hand. The nice thing about this mousse is going to give you a lot more hold compared to our purple one. I'm just going to call it the purple one because I think everyone knows the colors by now. So the purple one, right? It's going to give you a lot more hold. But the difference with using this one compared to the purple one, you must not overuse. So you should be using, okay, I'm going to ask this question. How many people overuse this product and uses a whole jar on their head? I see 2 hands, 3 hands in the house. So clearly people don't know how much product they should be using, right? So technically, I'm going to pretend this is a leave-in conditioner, right? Technically, if you guys are going to say, no way. Technically, you should be using this amount of product on one section of hair. One section. When I'm saying one section, I'm not meaning the entire head. Who puts product over the whole entire head and say the product doesn't work? That happens. No, let's be realistic, it does happen. People don't have time, they have kids, I understand that. So automatically people don't know. So, but that is one. And what you also want to do with this mousse, of course, is you want to emulsify it and work it through. If you're going to apply it directly onto the hair, and I would say on the more finer side, it might weigh your hair a bit down. So with the coarser, thicker 4C, 4B queens, you can put a little bit more than what I put here because you want that definition and hold, you want it to hold. And the nice thing, you can also cocktail it with a gel or one of our creams. And it's not going to give you any residue or any type of flaking or anything. Okay? Okay, now let's get into the interesting part. What do you think, what is the main ingredient that each product should contain? Water. What is water? Water is the main ingredient and the main thing when it comes to styling, no matter what hair type you're dealing with, when it comes to styling, it needs, what is water? Hydration. Your hair needs hydration in order to survive. The same like a plant, it needs water to survive. With hydrating a plant, you need water, for your hair needs water as well, right? So that is why it's so important that you choose, when it comes to selecting products, especially when you go into the store like Clicks and that type of thing, look what ingredients the product contains before taking. Because remember, times are tough. Let's be realistic. Times are tough. And you can't be spending unnecessary money on things that you know does not serve a purpose or benefit for you, right? So number one, hydration. Water. Your product must contain water. You will notice that 90%, I would say about 99% of Aunt Jackie's products, the first ingredient in there is water. And that is so, so important when it comes to any type of product that you're choosing. Water. Another thing that I think that people also get confused about is what are the different type of humectants. When I talk about humectants, I'm talking about moisture carriers in a product or artificial carriers in a product, right? When it comes to humectants in a product can contain plant-based humectants, which of course is based on oils and that type of thing, or it can be animal-based. So animal-based are usually used for things like plexus. You must have heard about plexus and bond treatments and that type of thing. That is usually where animal-based humectants are used, right? Are you with me? Are we still alive here? Are you soaking in? You better be soaking in, because I'm going to be asking questions and you can be winning some of that things there. So you better be taking note, right? And then, of course, you need to understand that the basis of any type of product choices comes back to you as an individual. What is your hair currently needing at that given time, right? In winter, we know we're going to need more moisture, right? In summer, we're going to need a little bit less moisture and slightly a bit more protein, because our hair is going to be thriving. We're going to be protective styling. Also in winter, be protective styling. And that brings me to our new collection. Who has used our new collection yet? 2 people in the house. Okay, so let me introduce you to our new collection. Our new collection is specifically targeted at protective styling, but it can also be used as styling products on its own as well, right? So this, of course, is our mousse. This mousse, of course, differs, as I said, to our purple one, because this, remember, with any curl enhancing mousse, which is our purple one, it's automatically going to, when you got your braiding, your protective style in, you don't want poofs at the roots. It needs to set and it needs to be flat, right? So this is going to give you that. But it can also be used for twist outs for my girls in the 4 range. It can be used in twist outs. It can be used in braid outs and that type of thing. And it can be used on your wigs. On your curly wigs. It can be used on your wigs. So the nice thing is it can be used on your wigs as well. But like I said, you're not going to use a lot. You will have to crunch this in because it can be a bit on the heavier side. So you got to use a very little. It can be used to refresh your braids. And it can be used for locks. I think that is something that people don't talk about much, especially in the natural hair movement, is locks. It can be used to set locks as well. So that is the benefit of the mousse. Then, of course, okay, I got a question. And someone can probably win this mousse now if you were paying attention. Okay. Name the plant-based humectant that is found in this mousse. Whose hand was up first?
Water.
Unfortunately, you on the right track, but not yet. Who had their hand up?
Is it not aloe?
No. You close, but not that close. Okay, seeing that everyone is a bit like confused, the one thing is that it's got to do with bees.
Next.
Honey. Congratulations, here you go.
Congratulations, honey.
Okay, so I told you, you didn't want to listen to me when I said you need to be wakey in this class because I'm going to be asking a lot of questions. Can you see all the products there?
Oh, sorry, teacher.
Yes. You can see all the products they need to go. So please listen. Right. Then, of course, we've got our hold tight. This, of course, can be also used for your pondos, as well as your ponytails, as well as for your braids, prior to braidings and that type of thing. So it's going to give you that hold. Because you know when you are braiding and when you're creating ponytails and pondos and things, it needs to sleek back. It needs to stay there. But the trick to this, you cannot have any other product on your hair besides this. Because it's going to white cast on your hair. Especially if you got a previous, I would say your hair is like 4 days old, and now you want to decide, and then the gel is still you got a previous product like a gel, other gel, it's going to counteract. It's going to create a cast, right? And the nice thing, though, it does not create a cast when your hair is clean. So that is the benefit of it. There's no cast, there's no white residue, especially when you're doing twisting, your dreadlocks, creating your braids, cornrows, whatever. It's not going to give you that, right? Okay, I got another question in order to win this. Let's see. Name, I did not mention this, but if you are on Jackie's faithful user, you would know this. Where does Aunt Jackie's originate from?
The United States.
Okay, she's right, but I'm going to ask you, can you mention the state? Guys, we are in this age of Google. Google, I'm giving you 2 seconds. Whoever can come up with that is going to win. I'm going to give her an edge timer because she got it right, but whoever can come up with the state is going to win this.
United States of America. Oh, the state.
State.
The
state.
state.
The state.
The city.
You must say the city, Chicago.
Yes, no.
No.
Okay, Chomu, it's in Google, Chomu. Atlanta.
She's right, good. Give her a
Atlanta.
clap.
Atlanta.
Yes. Can you pass me edge timer? No, the other edge timer. The edge timer on that side. Edge timer there. The edge timer.
Ooh.
Here you go.
At least we all know now.
Yes, at least you're educated and you know now.
Yes.
Okay. Then we've got our refresher spray. I think this is something that is the most underrated, and this is one of my personal favorites, and I use this on set. I also use it in the salon because it is so good. I promise you, it is so good. So the nice thing about this, helps also with, if you got mild, please listen to me, don't change my words on social media and say, but you said it's going to work if I've got heavy amounts of dandruff. If you've got a mild case of dry scalp or dandruff, mild, remember the word mild, it will help to moisturize the scalp. Are you with me? It can also be used as a braid spray to refresh your braids, and as you will automatically use the mousse and this cocktailer together to refresh your braids, right? And it can be used on your curly wigs to refresh it as well. And it can be used as a sunscreen before going in the sun this summer.
Wow.
Because remember, honey, what is honey? It's a moisture. It's a barrier, right? It's thick. So what it does, it creates a barrier on the hair in order to prevent UV rays. And that is one of the, no one talks about this, but UV rays is one of the biggest causes to damage in hair as well. So it's going to create that as well. Give a hand for Aunt Jackie's, they thought of that.
Ooh, yes.
Okay, to win the spray, let's see. Let me think of a question. Let me make this one hard.
Since you're making it hard, sorry, Kieran, you must make sure that you identify the first person who puts up their hand, because one blink, everyone's hand's already up.
Okay. So, what is the longest time you should be keeping a protective style in? Whose hand was first up? Okay.
Hi.
Hey.
So the longest time, even though I know some of you are going on 3 months, the longest time is actually 4 to 6 weeks. So the longest is 6 weeks.
Okay. She's definitely right. But I'm going to say this. There is a way to preserve your protective style even longer, that you can actually reach it up to 12 weeks. I'm going to tell you why. So what you do is You know, this is, of course, you know, hair loss is one of the biggest causes within black women, women of color, right? So how you preserve it to prolong your protective style, you automatically unbraid as it's growing out. Say it reaches your 8th week, right? You untie or unbraid just the front and your back hairline, right? Yeah. And you automatically reattach that and just leave this growth that is here. That is how you prevent damage and hair loss. You with me? Who knows what is the number one cause of hair loss? I'm going to give you a time.
The number one cause of hair loss is alopecia, so especially at the front with the edges. That's how it starts.
Okay. She's right. Were you going to give the same? Yes, she's also right. She said tension.
Yeah.
So the number one cause of hair loss is tension. How do you know what braids or what protective style is for your hair type and texture? Anyone? Oh, it's going over. Okay. So the number one thing that you need to look at is your hair type, right? And your texture. If you're on the finer side, when I'm saying fine hair, you can't be having thin, heavy braids that hanging down your back, literally by your ass. It's not going to work because that tension is going to pull out. And that is the number one cause, especially when your hair is on the finer side, the number one cause of hair loss with people with finer hair. If your hair, so what my solution is that you go with a braid that is thicker, a little bit thicker. The diameter needs to be a lot thicker. That way you minimize the tension put on the hair, right? How do you know how far hair loss, how do you know, put it this way, how do you know when your hair is gone too far with regards to hair loss?
Sorry, when you don't have a hairline.
When you don't have a hairline.
Very
More.
correct. So let me say this. When you see it is shiny in front and you see there is nothing, you don't see even a smidget of hair coming out there, there is no hope. I'm going to be honest with you, there is no hope. Unless, I'm going to say this, unless you have a couple of thousands laying around and you can take a trip to Turkey and go have an implant done, then yes, then I would go that route. But the number one cause to hair loss is improper education when it comes to stylists, where they pull it too tight, making too tight ponytails, right? What is the right age? I'm going to ask this. What is the right age when a child should be getting braids or any type of protective styling?
Okay, I'm coming to you, sister. Here at the back, your hand was up.
I think 12 years old.
Okay. Someone else maybe have another opinion on that?
I think from 1 year onwards.
Excuse me?
Right there, yeah, 1 year onwards.
Okay. When? Yes.
What was that? We missed that.
She said when the child is 11.
When the child is 11, all right?
7. Okay.
7.
I'm going to put it this way. When a child has not reached puberty yet, and this goes for relaxer, because let's be honest, it's a struggle for some parents. For some parents, it's a struggle, and that is the only option that they see fit for their child, right? Your child should be already past puberty when you start braiding your child's hair. Because remember, your child has not developed completely. That hair here is still finer, right? It's more fragile automatically, and now you're putting more tension on that child's hair. By the child, maybe when the child is already 15 or so, she has no hairline because of constant pulling. The child should be already, and this goes for relaxer as well. Let's be realistic. You should be puberty already, reach puberty when your child should be having a relaxer. Let's be just point blank on that. The child, there is no such thing that there's a kiddies and a softer way of doing it. It's all chemical. I'm going to be honest with you, it's all chemical. It contains the most harshest thing ever, because now you are breaking down the disulfide bonds and there is nothing. It literally takes that hair from being afro or curly to being dead straight. And remember that child's hair is finer. So it goes there quicker than someone that already had puberty stages, right? So I'm gonna give away another product, and then I'm gonna open the floor for a few questions because time is running. Okay. Calvin.
Yes, baby.
Okay, I'm gonna give Calvin a chance to tell us what he's up to, right? Give Calvin a hand because he has worked with amazing woman Tyler. So Calvin,
Yes.
tell us what are you up to here?
Okay, so now I section the hair. I'm about to to cornrow this portion. So I use this product, Hold Tight, to open the line, to section the line.
Okay.
But firstly, I use shine boosting moisturizer to moisturize the skin,
Okay.
the hair, and the scalp as well. This one is also good for the for the scalp. It's good to apply before you start plating and also after you plate.
Okay.
So now I'm busy sectioning the lines.
Okay, you heard Calvin what he said. But there's something I want to take, and you can win. Let's see. What do you think I should give away? Jeez, okay. Okay. What is Calvin's favorite product? From just listening to him, what is his favorite product?
The refreshing spray.
Calvin, is that your favorite product?
It is my favorite.
Oh!
You were listening in class, hey?
She was very much. Okay. I'm gonna open the floor for any questions because my time is running. Any questions? Yeah, who's okay, their hands are going. Yes.
Hi. I wanted to ask, when it comes to a wash and go, what's the difference between a mousse and a gel?
Okay. With a mousse, you're gonna get a lot more frizz. I'm gonna be straight up, a lot more different. I would say kind of a lot more frizz compared to using a gel. A gel is gonna give you a hold, right? And it's gonna give you definition. So my rule of thumb when it comes to doing a wash and go especially is using a gel and a mousse because you're gonna get the benefit of both. Hey? Which one is first? You're first gonna go with your gel and then you're gonna go with your mousse. So you will crunch your mousse at the end. Another question?
I just wanted to ask, you spoke about sectioning earlier.
Okay.
What is a section?
What is the section? Calvin?
I mean,
you
I
mind?
understand, but according to your hair, how do you know is enough?
Okay. Can I also just move? So when you're sectioning, okay, we're busy tag teaming here now, ne? Okay, so when you're sectioning, this should be a quadrant, sorry. So this should be sufficient amount of hair for one section, right, you see? So my rule of thumb, with coarser, thicker hair, you want to section at least about 6 to 8 sections, because that way you know every piece of hair is getting what it needs to. If you're doing your conventional 4 and you're on the finer side, you can get away with it, right? But for coarser, thicker hair, definitely 6 to 8 sections. Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question is just around pre-pooing. I've heard a lot about pre-pooing. Do you think it's important to pre-poo and then also to maybe like detangle with your hands before actually going into the shower and washing your...
Okay, so let me give you the thing about pre-pooing. Pre-pooing is like laying your hair in milk. It's clean, but it's not clean, right? And pre-pooing can also cause a lot of build-up, right? And with finger detangling, you don't get all the knots out. I'm gonna be straight out with you. You don't get all the knots out. You need to use a comb. You need to use a brush. You need to use something to detangle that hair because you're not going to get all the knots out. And I know there's a whole thing on social media where people say, I don't use a brush, I use my comb, my fingers, but realistically, you're going to need to use an appliance in order to detangle that hair, right? I think I answered your question correctly, no? I would say detangle when it's wet, not when it's dry. Because you minimize the amount of shedding, you minimize the amount of breakage. Yes?
So I wanted to ask, which shampoo would you recommend after braiding, especially after a long period of time, between the hydrating shampoo and the mask?
Okay, first of all, the first thing that you're going to do, I would recommend, especially coming out of braids, you want to pre-poo first to get all that knots and things out, right? But my pre-poo method is different to your pre-poo method. First, wet it down a little bit, and then apply your pre-poo. Some people apply to dry hair pre-poo. I don't believe in that. You need to wet it down, right? And then you would go in with the clarifying shampoo first. and then go with your moisturizing shampoo. We are a little bit out of time. We're going to take one more question. One more question.
We are totally out of time.
No more questions.
No, because you're going to still have a giveaway, right?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I'm going to throw this. Whoever can catch it. We can. Okay, wait. This side has been very quiet. The person that can shout the loudest I love on Jackie is that. Catch! Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands.